Just a tiny smile because you get to see me this morning.
Yeah, that's always good.
Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to a wonderful episode of Managed Services Unfiltered. I am Owen Phillips, Marketing Director for Strata Services, and I'm joined by my wonderful counterpart, Jason Eisenhart, Director of MSP Operations here at Stratus. I'm going to ask him some questions that I found on the internet and see what he has to say about them. I know that you never have anything to say first off, but do you have anything to add this morning that you would like to pepper in?
I just try to play through all my reading of Reddit over the past week and see what you're going to hit me with.
Wait, okay. What are like your top three uh able to be publicly spoken about subreddits that you frequent?
Um, I honestly stay away from like tech support. I stay away from computers because
Yeah.
everybody's an expert and it hurts my
Yes.
brain to just read those comments.
Yes.
Um, but at the same time, I read the MSP subreddit a lot. That's probably one of the biggest ones I read, even though it's a cesspool of misinformation. There's still little bits and pieces you can grab from it.
Yeah.
And then I do follow some security platforms and the MSSP Reddit, but I just kind of browse a ton.
Yeah. I feel like also on the MSP Reddit, for as much as there's a bunch of people saying dumb stuff, they also have like news flashes that are really helpful and beneficial. Like platforms will get on there and say like, "Hey, we found this vulnerability. Everybody pay attention." Um,
Yeah, the SonicWall thing popped up on there the other day,
yeah.
current exploit, and I just some of these guys they're on it, man. You can get it really early if you read the Reddit, but
Yeah.
I you have to be careful. I tell people this all the time. They're like, "Well, what do you get your information from?" Well, I go to Reddit for some, but
Hmm.
the problem is 95% of the people there are bandwagon jumpers and will just
Yeah.
it's an echo chamber of unhelpful information.
Yeah. So when you're not doing like work stuff though, what is a subreddit that you love going to like for laughs or whatever?
Well, let's see. I mean, most of it's always a game. It's always a
Oh,
game.
okay. Yeah.
So, 3D printing's a popular one,
Oh, okay.
and then categories like ARPG. But
Okay.
typically, when
Yeah.
I play a game for an extended period of time, I will join the subreddit for that game.
Yeah.
Uh,
Welcome to me being in Expedition 33 subreddit for the last little bit, trying to make the best builds.
the best subreddit, Hold My Red Bull.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out.
The craziness that happens in that subreddit is insanity. And then my current favorite, so kind of circling back to what you asked me initially, my
Yeah.
favorite is right now it's overlanding.
What is overlanding?
So converting your vehicle, lifting your truck, putting a tent on the
Hmm.
top
Oh, yeah.
to get off the beaten path. It is something
Yeah.
we're very, very seriously looking into, and I get obsessive with anything I do in life, including my work. So overlanding is my current obsession, and I've been doing it for about 6, 7 months, and it's just so much information, and it's honestly a really, really good Reddit.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing a little peek into the soul of our MSP. So now work things. I've browsed Reddit myself. I found some fun questions this week, and so now I'm going to ask you. One of them, top of mind, super topical because we chatted about this a little bit yesterday. While not being recorded, and so I would love to actually get your feedback based on Reddit question. And this is from IT career questions. Our IT career questions. So the question is Stratus is currently hiring just for everybody. So this is top of mind for the Stratus crew. What would you recommend someone go to college for if they have a passion for tech in this awful job market? Beginning college this month, I'm having a lot of second thoughts, majoring in CIT. What are some other tech related fields that are thriving? Is CIT degree great for any technical related field? Also planning to get a BS in computer science if the associate program goes well.
Yeah, I had to double check what that was.
Oh yeah, CIT is
Computer and information technology. So it's interesting because It's like people think IT is a singular facet, and you're gonna go to school, you get your computer science degree, and then you walk into Stratus and you're like, "Hi, I'm here," and I'm like, "You went the wrong path. We're not hiring for programmers and software developers, and maybe we are at times, but just not right now." But when you go to when you're in 11th grade or 12th grade and you walk into the counselor's office and you're like, "I really want to go to school for computers." The counselor's like, "Great, let's see what computer science programs we can get you into." And I've seen people get directed into BAs, so Bachelor of Arts in
Yeah.
computer science, which is a total misdirection and the wrong way. That's floating upriver. It doesn't work unless you want to be a professor or something. And then you have a BS in computer science, which means you have a pretty good baseline understanding of computers, but it's still the wrong direction for what we hire.
Okay.
So a CIT, information technology, computer information systems, both of which my degrees are in, hanging up behind me.
Hmm.
I have a bachelor's in computer information systems and I have a master's in information technology. They are more business focused.
Okay.
And when you're going to school, you want to make sure you're picking a direction of something you enjoy. So, for example, information technology or computer information systems with a minor or a focus in networking gets all of that. You get the
Yeah.
baseline, oh, my printer doesn't work, understanding the concepts of what makes that work. And then you also have that really, really good fundamentals in networking. Computer information systems and information technology give that to you. They give you that baseline. They give you that understanding. Going through college, I did a lot of diagrams, architecting networks, architecting infrastructure, things that computer science does not do. And they are just two different directions. And computer science is it's just a hard field. It's like being bilingual. Not
Yeah.
everybody can be bilingual. Being a computer science major and being good at it is no different than being really good at being bilingual, except
Yeah.
not just being bilingual, you need to know 17 different languages, 17 different ways, and understand everyone else that wrote it before you and how you could fix their problems. It's a
Yeah.
hard degree. And when you find someone that's really good, you don't let them go. So it makes it even harder to find a job in that spectrum. Um, but for us, we are looking for people that have a focus in IT and base level, like information technology. So computers, how do computers work? How do servers work? Implementing network equipment, things like that, the physical stuff that you don't
Yeah.
get to experience in the computer science side as
And
much.
that seemed to be based on other people's recommendations under this post. It was a lot of, hey, go to school, don't do it because you think this is what's going to make you money or whatever. Think about that, have that in the back of your mind, right? Think about the types of job descriptions that you're looking at, etc. But then exactly what you said, chase your passion because if you're good at a thing and you can show that you're good at a thing and you get an internship to do that while you're going to school and getting your degree and all that, like those components all go together. You get your search, you get your degree, you get your internship, etc. And then you're able to put on paper, like, look, I am good at this and I care about this. So 100% exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I always look at IT, a very similar, completely different, but very similar pathing is nursing.
Yeah.
Nursing is, I mean, it's probably one of the biggest spectrums of degrees you can get because, I mean, you can go as far as damn near being a doctor with an
Yep.
NP, all the way
Yep.
down to being an MA. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the spectrum is ginormous, and you have to know what you want to do
Mm-hmm.
if you really want to succeed as a nurse. The
Yep.
same concept goes, and don't get me wrong, there is overlap. You can be a computer science major and fill my role every single day, or
Yep.
vice versa. But unfortunately, when people see interview or resumes, the things they see first is how they're going to interview and how they're going to eliminate. And
Yep.
a computer science degree can technically hurt you in some areas, whereas my degrees can hurt you in other areas.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you for that little insight for anybody who's going to school. I don't think we've talked about it, but did you know that I took a computer science course in college and really loved it? But I didn't take it until far late. I think I took my CS 121 or whatever it was in my senior year. So I only got one class of it, but I had the coolest professor. You would have loved him. He was the most says whatever he wanted to in class kind of individual. His name was Jeff. I don't think that he ever did not wear shorts to class.
I contemplated computer science and I did some what's it called when you read a book? Cliff Notes. It was like Cliff Notes from a class and I got to learn
Yeah.
about what they were doing. And I just knew I would hate it.
Yeah. Oh, I
But
loved it. It was just puzzles. Everything that we did was just puzzles. It was, hey, make a program that draws dots in this orientation and da 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 da. Make a program that solves basically like what we would do in high school on a graphing calculator, but like and then some, well, how are you going to write this program so that it never has an error? And I don't know. I love those type of things.
there is something to be said about building something that allows you to see a product when it's done.
hmm
And software development has that perk where everything you're doing is text
Yep.
and then you hit the run or the compile and then
Yep.
run.
Yep.
And you see something happen and you're like, wow, I
hmm
did that. I
Yep.
get the same feeling when I get to architect solutions for clients. When we put in
Mhm.
an entire solution for a client and you get to see it come together, it's amazing.
It's
It's
magic.
silly.
It's literally, no, you're right. When you hit the enter button and it does the thing that you want it to do, and then you're like, wow, I am magic. I'm a C plus master. I am not a C plus master, but hey. Okay. We're gonna move on something a little bit more, I don't know, ephemeral. Not there's no answer specifically to this, but this is in the R cybersecurity help subreddit. User asks, is WhatsApp safe to use? Since there is a lot of theories on WhatsApp having a backdoor, then what are the chances that view once content and call content can be resurfaced and leaked somehow? So the question is WhatsApp safe to use? But I would take one step back because some of these things are in the zeitgeist when you're considering WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, encrypted messaging, Messenger in Instagram is also encrypted, they tell you. Just general takes, what is safe, what messages are safe, is anything safe? I want the tinfoil hat, Jason.
They're all safe. Um, but they're all abused and it doesn't matter the platform, they can all be abused. I'm going to explain this with another sidetrack. Basically what happens is Telegram and WhatsApp, they don't keep the chain of communication,
Mm-hmm.
and when they don't keep it they can be abused. So that's why when you talk to people that are on a page and you call a number and you're like texting or you're chatting on Facebook with a person that you think is something, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, well, speak to me on WhatsApp," or "Oh, speak to me on Telegram." Here's my
Uh,
Facebook account. They're doing that for a reason. They don't
yeah,
want their Facebook account to get banned because that is
yeah,
the vessel for scamming people. So they
yep,
want to bring you to a platform that they don't care about and that nothing is tracked.
yeah,
So with cybersecurity, everything that seems kind of not legit or even makes you second guess it should automatically be dismissed. And
yeah.
there's ways to verify that. So I have a client who reached out to me last week and she sent me the email that she received. This is
Mm-hmm.
scary, by the way. This is terrifying. And the email is from Stripe, notifications at stripe.com. You should probably know
Yep,
what Stripe is.
yep.
And it says, "Hello, you've been invited to join the order confirmation. You paid $549.16 for the purchase of Bitcoin via PayPal on Stripe. Blah, blah, blah. Charges will
Oh,
be reflected on your bank statement, blah, blah."
okay.
That's terrifying if you get that because you're like, "Well, I didn't do that." Well, what happened is nothing actually happened. It's actually a group that created something in Stripe, and I don't know the exact way it works. I just read a little bit about it. They
Okay.
created a group in Stripe called Order Confirmation. You've paid $549.60 for the purchase of Bitcoin via PayPal and Stripe. And then they invite people to that group, and they use Stripe to
Oh
send the notification
no.
out. I don't know what happens when you join the group.
Do it. Join it.
No, because the email I
Infiltrate.
have is actually from a client. So
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know if any of that would link back, and I don't want to do that. But
Yeah.
that's insanity. That's
Yeah.
Stripe, a legitimate company, going back to WhatsApp or Telegram, legitimate companies. When you go overseas, and if I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong about this, but I believe this
Yeah.
is right. When you go to Europe, a lot of companies over there use WhatsApp as a primary form of communication.
Yeah. I mean, so like when I was had a host family, that's I mean everybody used, I had an Italian cell number and I was using my iPhone, but I had an Italian SIM card and number, and everybody just uses WhatsApp for communication because it's easy. You don't have to think about it.
So at the same time, though those are legitimate companies, I don't let my
Uh-huh.
daughter use them.
Okay.
And a lot of her friends do, and she may
Huh.
hate me for it, but
Yeah.
it's my daughter, and
Yeah.
she's not going to do things that can be dismissed,
Yeah.
like messages that can be
Mm-hmm.
hidden. That's so parents should also consider that with WhatsApp and things like that. Text
Mm-hmm.
messages, I can put rules in place that they can't be deleted, and I can read them. Not that I do because I trust my daughter, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I don't want people sending her things that
Yeah.
are getting deleted before they can be.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I have little cousins, and that has always been my thing is, hey, you please let them have a cell phone so they can be in touch with you and their friends and whatnot, because they're gonna feel ostracized, et cetera, et cetera. But like, maybe don't give them Instagram, please.
social media, my daughter doesn't have any, and that's
Yeah,
important because for a lot of different reasons, but just the safety of your kids.
yeah,
Now, going back to the back door, is it safe?
yeah, yeah.
That's an impossible answer, but I will tell you what I think is happening. In order for
Okay,
there to be a back door to stealing data, the back
yeah,
door has to exist. It had to have been created by the
okay.
manufacturer and then found and
Oh, okay.
exploited by the back door. So
Yeah.
I send you, if I give you a piece of paper, you read it,
Hmm.
pull it up, and burn it in the fire, there's no
Hmm.
back door. You're not reclaiming that. It was removed, deleted, whatever.
Yeah,
Now, if the data is being deleted, at least you think it is, and it is being kept in a vault and
yeah.
archived,
Archived or something.
then sure, it's accessible. I don't know
Hmm.
if that's happening, but
Yeah.
that's the only way I can imagine the data being available.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. It was an interesting thing because when all of these companies rolled out the encrypted messages type of thing, obviously you're still leaving some amount of digital footprint because on your device. And not to say that people are hacking in and can get that necessarily, but like you said, it's different from a piece of paper and I'm burning it and it's gone versus hi, it's on the thing in your pocket. Do you want to cover another topic, or do you feel like I don't want to make it too long. I like this one. And it's very topical. It kind of blends into the cybersecurity specific side of the house.
Okay.
So this is in our MSP. It says we've got 4 SSPs labeled final, and none of them are right. We've gone through 4 versions of our SSP, which is something something program, security program.
Security solution platform.
There we go. Security solution platform. It's like the document that you need that tells people what to do when bad things happen. And every one of them is outdated, incomplete, or as stuff that no longer matches our environment. It feels like as soon as we finish one, someone leaves, a tool changes, the policy shifts, and then we're back to editing Word documents again. Is anyone actually keeping their SSP current? How are you managing this?
So that is really weird wording
Okay.
because Stratus is an MSP, but we're also an
Yeah.
MSSP, which is a
Yes.
managed security solutions provider.
Yes.
It does not dictate how we do our job. It does not dictate how we provide security.
Yeah.
What that is called a BCDR, business continuity and disaster recovery, and then how we respond to events. And it's different for every organization. Um, so that's a really hard one to answer because I provide BCDR documentation, incident response, all of that to clients, especially clients who need it for insurance or fall
Yep.
under certain compliance. I provide that information. We build it out to focus on their business and how it matters for their business. And we review that whenever there's a change that alters it. So I don't have to, for like one client that I have architected everything they use, I know I don't have to change it because nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So next year I won't review it. There's no point.
Yeah.
But there's
Until they get new software, new personnel, systems change within their office, something like that,
right.
right? Yeah.
So there's one that I have that with the whole Mount Spur scare and the
Yeah.
eruption, one of them I have to redo because now instead of them not having any business continuity if airflow gets turned off to the building. Now we have cloud redundancy to be able to redeploy in the cloud. So I have to rewrite that BCDR
Gotcha.
solution
Okay.
of what that looks like. What's the downtime? What's the RTO time? What are all these things? So I don't necessarily know what the SSP is for this organization. It might stand for the same thing. It's
Hmm.
also very possible that they have an internal structure of how business continuity disaster recovery works for
Gotcha.
everybody.
Yeah.
And we don't have a category that we take clients. Like we don't say, okay, we're just doing medical. And a
Yeah.
lot of MSPs will.
Yeah.
We have a lot of variety in our clients. So the solution for one is not the solution for another.
For sure.
Some
Yeah.
clients would be like, cool, I'm working for a week. Where other
Yeah.
clients are like, no, we're in banking. We don't have a choice.
Yeah. Like this is going to keep going on tomorrow because somebody's going to show up at my office and ask for the $1,000 deposit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So sorry I couldn't answer that question to the best of
That's
my
okay. No, I mean,
for Stratus.
you still kind of answered the question, even though it might be a different acronym. Like the idea being that you keep them updated when you need to have them updated,
Right.
and the take home of that is just making sure that you have someone who's following it all along, right? Like
Yeah,
that's the
you can't have a BCDR plan unless somebody knows your environment
exactly.
operationally and technologically. So
Okay.
I'm not going to sit here and say that operationally I know all my clients perfectly. Like I'm not
Yeah.
in banking, I'm in IT.
Yeah.
But I know what they need to do their job, whether that be computers, internet, software access, VPNs, things like that. How do we get them access in the case of an emergency? 2018, when November 30th, 2018, when the big earthquake hit
Hmm.
Anchorage, we had to find solutions that were really unorthodox.
Yeah.
Um, and then those solutions were completely different in February of 2020 when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then with Mount Spur, it's going to be a different solution again.
Yep.
So we have to take those BCDR plans and make them very vague, but also very pointed so that
Yeah.
anybody can do it.
I'm really disappointed because I was not in Alaska on November 30th, 2018. I was visiting a friend in Portland and I missed a once in a lifetime event. I know that as people are like scarred from it. I'm very disappointed that I was not there for that experience.
I'm with you. I was there. It was kind of amazing and terrifying. I was driving to work
Oh,
in
wow.
in my blue truck,
Uh-huh.
and it felt like my blue truck became a boat,
Wow.
and I couldn't tell what was happening. To be honest with you, if you go back to Looney Tunes and you see the vehicle with the really like oval tire and he's just bouncing around,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what it felt like until the power line snapped. Had I
Oh,
not seen the power line snap, thought I had like a bubble in my tire or something.
yeah.
It was very like weird. I thought I was a boat. And then the power line popped, and then you see the sparks, and then it got worse. And then I was going sideways, which vehicles don't go sideways. Got to work, and people are in the office like, uh, we just had an earthquake. And I'm like, yeah, you smelled the gas, get out.
Yeah. Oh
So it
gosh.
was it was a crazy day.
Well, I missed a lifetime event, but at least I don't have the emotional damage from it. So, um, okay, that's all my questions for today, but I'm gonna leave you with this funny X post that somebody put up. It says 10 years ago when I worked in tech support, a frustrated customer called, and literally the first thing they said was, "Can you please transfer me to the least like employee so that I can make their day miserable?"
I need some of those clients. You just call me to make my day miserable.
Yeah.
All
Anyways, it's
right.
great
Thank
talking to you,
you.
Jason. Thanks for answering my questions. For Managed Services Unfiltered, I'm Owen, and this is Jason. We're from Stratus. If you have questions about IT, tech, and other things, you can email us at info@stratus-services.com. Visit us online. Till next time. See you, Jason.
See ya.